sentry. He's completely prepared. Good thing about doing
Yes.
that. The level 1 camp, I like this move a lot. Dropping the sentry ward instead of observer ward. Guess what? It does the same thing. I mean, you know, the Enigma's not going to check back 3 minutes later and be like, okay, is it a sentry observer? He's going to be like, oh crap. My jungle's warded off. I either got a counter ward, in which case it doesn't matter which ward he counters with, or he has to go to the other jungle. So don't forget that you can actually block off with sentries, and that's exactly what we saw here.
That is true. So let's go to an SD Night Stalker lane in middle, and actually Dark Seer looks like he's heading top. Are they going to leave a nobody on bottom? I believe they're going to allow Korok to free farm on this bottom lane. I'm going to say this is a bad choice.
I'm going to second on that bad choice opinion.
If there's one thing we know about Morphling, it's that if you give him free farm, you will have some problems. And we actually have a disconnect here from Night Stalker as we see a pause from zNation yet again here.
Some problem is an understatement because, I mean, if you give Morphling quick farm, you give him so much option. A lot of times we see Morphling going for the Lincoln as a standard build, and if he does finish in 14 minutes, which is a fairly decent time, he could actually roam all over the map as a ganker, and you really can't stop him. Also give him the option to go for a quick shotgun build, which I'm sure heroes like Vengeful Spirit, the Queen of Pain, and the Shadow Demon won't be too happy about. So let's see what Korok with that free farm will be getting himself into. Now, of course, we've seen this in the past with the Darkseid jungling. What he perhaps is looking for a quick level 3 off the jungle camp, and then he's going to port back on the bot lane. We've seen it from like teams like LGD and eHome about 1.5, 2 years ago, and in Dota 1 quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
it's very similar tactic to what you see with Fury oftentimes. A little bit of jungle farming and then just TP to that long lane just to try and slow the push down. So I hope that's what their plan is. He doesn't have a TP scroll right now, but he could easily pick one of those up. He does have a Soul Ring recipe. I feel like he's going to eventually make his way down bottom. You can't just allow Korok to free farm. It's just not okay, although he already has got himself one creep kill. I mean, apparently winning the creep battle at 1-0.
If you think about it, like Korok is going to get free farm no matter what. Mikey's going to ward, he's going to de-ward, and he's going to pull. And there's really nothing that the Darkseid could do about it. At best, he's going to drop a Iron Shower 2 to really annoy Morphling a little bit, but I think Morphling for the most part is going to get the free farm, so he's securing himself at least level 3, which he might not even get if Mikey's playing well in the lane, so I think it's a decent choice.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for zNation raised hand guy to reconnect.
Raise the hand guy, what does that mean?
Well, if you look at the actual hero list or the player list, it actually uses the images of or the names of what they joined the game as and not what they changed their name to. So he's currently a guy with a raised hand. See?
Oh. Yeah, that's his head, and he's raising hand.
Yeah, he's like me right here. You never seen that?
Have
That's
you seen
like...
the NS Shark Attacks? I like that one.
Yes, I have. That was awesome. And I also saw the shark circling the water on Ice Frog as well.
It's something like I'm trying to type it out. No, it's
You're trying to figure it out. Is what you're trying to do.
yeah. That's the shark, and then this is the guy saying, "Oh, help me, man."
I'm having some problems.
I'm drawing that on the screen right now. 6 minutes later, people are gonna be all lost.
I got it. I got it. All right.
Ready? What?
Boom.
What'd you type?
Well.
What'd you type? I didn't see nothing type.
Well, that's because I didn't actually type it, man.
You gotta be a boss and type it. Be like, yeah. There you go.
Boom. Yeah, just like that. Although you didn't make the water long enough.
It's a pond. A shark in a pond.
Oh, I see. Well, Syndron immediately drops it back on you. Look at that. He's got that stuff like.
He's got that hotkey.
He has to have a hotkey. How did he get your name that fast, though?
I bet like he practiced typing that shit.
He's got to have that hotkey somewhere. That's amazing. Maybe it's a response. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I had to look for the keys on my keyboard. He's got that one. In any case, looks like we have reconnected. And
well, that's awesome. Looks like we're gonna have a go here. Yep, go, 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 go. All right, so
wait.
Oh, Panic Gold, crushing my dreams here. Want to cast some Dota, man? Okay, go. Solara actually picked up an Inbrews rune on top. Just FYI. And actually, that Sentry Ward did spot him.
Yeah, Sentry Ward has spotted him. I think perhaps they're going to set up a gank here with the Windrunner. I mean, with the Vengeful Spirit Magic Missile. And, of course, the Shadow Strike at level 1. We're going to see it right now. There's a Shadow Strike. Here comes the Windrunner. She's kind of popped the No, perhaps trying to bait the Windrunner. Just, you're going to drive by as a Vengeful Spirit. Back in the mid lane, though. Pain and Go, let's see if it's going to have that tough time. I mean, I don't think he's going to die here, but dying, or not dying, and winning the lane is totally two different things. You can see he's taking so much physical damage. They're going to make it go, but that's after the Void has been used, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was actually, Void was just about ready. He honestly maybe could have been aggressive about that. Of course, at level 1, Void only does 90 damage, so it's not exactly a heavy output spell. It's kind of similar to a Shadow Strike at level 1. It really just slows him down, allows you to get a lot of hits on. That said, we do have a TP bottom now from Sidoi, or rather a walk bottom, so the Darkseer has finally made it to that lane, and as you mentioned, he does go ahead and drop that Ion Shell, just trying to do a little harass. Meanwhile, Venomancer and the Morphling are just going to run him off that. I don't really feel like he's going to get a whole lot of XP here. He's just going to try and leech what he can. He is going to be difficult to kill, of course, because he has a little bit of that surge. So, you know, Venomous Gale not exactly going to do a whole lot as far as any kills, but he's just going to try and leech as much XP as possible and just, you know, kind of level up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't die here. There's no stun in this lane. Of course, Waveform can chase fairly decently, but with the ability of Surge, and I think that's what he's looking for. He was dodging in the jungle to make sure that he gets both points, so he doesn't die to this lane. Because, I mean, we've seen it in the past where sometimes your long lane, it just stays a level 1 whole game, and he's cheap sign, and he basically kind of avoided all of that. Now he has both Shell and Surge, and he should be fine. But that doesn't mean that Kurok isn't free farming. As you can see, he's last hitting 12 and 6 right now. And he's going to continue to last like a boss.
Yeah, he easily the highest right now. He is. Let's see, there's 9 on the Night Stalker, 10 on that Queen of Pain, so not a whole lot really there. There are 3 on the Darkseer, so he has managed to get a couple. Pain and Gold actually picked up that Haste Rune. We're going to see a disruption here immediately, but that Haste Rune is now going to run out. It's going to give him a harass there. He's going to be able to get away just fine. That said, we do have a bottle now on Night Stalker, so a pretty quick bottle on S. Going to allow him to probably get a bit more haste or a rune action going, just trying to deny as many runes from that Brewmaster as possible, who really getting no last hits right now. 3 total last hits on your solo mid. This is the problem with Panda solo mid. I'm not a big fan of this.
I mean, again, if he gets the necessary support, that's nice, but he's up against the dual lane, he's getting shut down. If you guys are watching in the bot lane here, you can see Kurok could easily get the range creep kill last hit, but he's immediately leaving it instead. He's trying to get the creep equilibrium a little bit more stabilized as Mikey goes to pull, and really want to deny as much EXP to Sidoi as possible. And that Iron Shell, my god. Look at that. It's just
doing so much damage.
It is so really annoying to lane against.
Really well played there from Sidoi, dropping that at just the right time to get a bunch of harass on Kurok. Kurok didn't want to waste a waveform and just decided to walk away and go ahead and try and regen that up. He's gonna crack his salve though. What? So he's now out of regen. He's only at 200 gold as he has bought himself very quick Aquila. Actually, he's got a very quick ring of Aquila.
I like it. I mean, you know that your Enigma is going to be coming out of jungle to push, and having the real Aquila plus 2 armor is going to be very helpful. It gives you some nice lasting damage, which Morphling lacks in the early game. And overall, it just gives you a nice, mana regeneration, which he needs as well. We're just waiting perhaps for Lasting Magic to hit 5 to get the 3rd level of the Idolizer push, or perhaps to hit 4 for the Malefice to actually start ticking to actually go for the push. But so far, it seems like Quantic is getting a little bit out farm. If you look at the gold chart, it's about 300 gold lit just off of creeps, and much of it is contributed by the top lane and the mid, as zNation is basically getting free farm.
Yeah, and actually, Kurok, you mentioned about his last hit damage being low. I actually think Morphling has really high last hit damage, basically because of what he's done here. You level up that Morph very early, it gives you that extra stat gain. Obviously, you get 3 at level 1, 4, 5, 6, etc. But you get that in that and strength, and then you just morph a little bit to an agility, and you basically just added +6 agility at level 1. So you just morph it a little bit, and he's actually rocking 85 damage per attack right now, which is really quite high for a ranged unit this early on. So he has really high damage.
And you don't really need the HP at this point because you have Mikey playing so well on the support, and you're really not going to even get ganked. As I say that, mid gets a kill off. Sorry for missing that, but you can imagine what happened. Disruption, Void, right clicks. And I didn't imagine that he would go down here, Pain and Go, because he's so tanky, but the harass was simply too much. And now we have Night Stalker almost hitting nighttime. He's going to get the next rune for sure. And he already have the boots of speed as well. This is it's setting up to be a very dangerous first night hero for Night Stalker.
Yeah, if they get any kind of good gangs off of this, especially on that bottom lane, they'd really like to take down the Morphling. I think that might be a bit optimistic. But meanwhile, up top, or bottom, Sedoya is going to go down there. So Korok actually picks up a kill here, which is exactly what they did not want to see, was a death on that Darkseer. Typically with that Darkseer in the hard lane, you're going to think of him as being kind of unkillable because of his ability to just run away. But he actually took a Venomous Gale there in a waveform and took him down. So well played there from Quantic.
Yeah, we have Nexus getting the next ward for himself. We have all the HP being morphed away by Korok, and then he's going to South and perhaps morph a little bit back to Strength.
Yeah,
nicely
definitely
played here. It does take quite a bit of mana, but hey, if you're doing nothing on the bot lane, if you're getting no pressure, you're going to be fine. He's going to get himself a Magic Bottle as well. So Magic Bottle, I like it a lot on Morphling, and by the way, you have not put a point into Replicate, which is not the standard build, but again, he is kind of free farming, so he doesn't need his Replicate just yet. But the reason that Magic Bottle is so good on Morphling is you could use all the regen, you make a Replicate of your teammate or enemy, you TP back, and then you come back with a full bottle, full regen, and it's really, really nice to have. It shows him that he's going to be playing a little bit more aggressive, but also having the regen. Back in the mid lane here, though, as we see Panda dropping the ultimate, at the very least, the Dire has forced the ultimate usage. They want Nexus. I don't think he could get Nexus. Can't get the Night Stalker either. So basically, just force the ultimate here from Panda, which is always nice. Saliner is staying around, perhaps going for the kill. I don't think he could get it, but as I say that, he's diving for it.
Yeah, he's actually going to go through here. He was looking for the Enigma. He's not going to find him. He does see Pain at goal here, but I don't think this is worth going for, and he is going to go ahead and back up here. Another thing that Bottle gives you as a Morphling is the ability, as you saw there, you can morph it all to agility. Actually, this early on in the game, it doesn't cost a whole lot because you don't have a bunch of agility to morph.
Yep.
And it morphs at a rate of, what, 2 per... Well, actually, at this point, it's now just about... When it hits 4, it'll be 4 per second, so 8 total agility per second, which only takes about 3 seconds total morph, and it's pretty cost effective, and that'll allow him to just switch to agility real fast, bottle up, and then switch right back to strength, and of course the bottle will enable him to kind of get that mana back that he already spent.
Yeah, we're 8 minutes in the game, and the goalie continues for the Dire as they're farming a little bit better. Lasted Magic will try to solve this dilemma by getting a big smoke gank, and I think Sedoya saw it. He probably smoked right under that Observer Ward. And I think Lasted Magic's not going to get too much done. Windrunner on the top lane being forced back. You can see Pink is coming in to set up a gank. Not going to find anyone either. A lot of unfortunate ganks being put off. But Lasted Magic is warding away Sedoya, and that means that Korok with that ring turned on, giving +2 armor to everybody, and they are setting out that push. Sedoya looking to come in here. He does see it right now. It's going to eat a Malefice. Do we have a Black Hole available? No, just shy of level 6. A teleportation comes in right now. That is going to go on Lasted Magic. They're going to focus on Mikey. Mikey is fairly weak in health, but looks like Salina is going to go down. He's going to go down to a waveform. Morphling gets yet another kill, but he is morphing his strength. Should be absolutely fine. Black Hole gets picked up here. Wagai will be going down to another waveform. It's bottling up. There's nice purge, slowing down Korok. Will we have enough? He's going to get a waveform on Nexus. That's 2 kills here for Korok. He eats a Sonic Wave, morphing everything to strength, and this is, ladies and gentlemen, why you pick up Morph early on instead of Adaptive Strike, which I do see some public players do from time to time. He's coming back for more, have yet another waveform, goes on Sedoya. That's 3 kills, nicely done here, and now Queen of Pain in a big trouble, will blink out, but 3 kills on Korok, or 2, and then 1 gets split up by his team. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about with his ability with Morphling. He really understands this hero very well. He does a nice job of identifying when he can go get a kill and when he's still going to be able to survive. He morphs, obviously, all that strength very, very well there. I mean, it's not difficult to press morph, of course, but he does a nice identification of a lot of Morphlings. They'll get scared and be like, oh my god, I got to run back. But he is fearless when it comes to his waving past or getting kills, and ends up picking up 3 of them. Or he picked up 2 and then he assists, of course, but he did get 1 before that. So 3 kills already on that Morphling, as we see a 4-to-1 advantage already for Quantic here. We see him using that Replicate to immediately get back into the lane, as you talk about, and he's right back there to continue his farm. And we're going to see a Shackle Shot on Sedoya, probably a couple more attacks. The waveform, he's just going to run back. Well done there. He gets a stun from the Venom Spirit, but not really too much of a problem, as he has that bottle. He's just going to go ahead and bottle right back up.
So yeah, we saw zNation needing in terms of farm, but after those couple of engagement, Quantic's right back ahead in the jungle. We have a little bit of engagement, disruption and purge going on. Last hit magic, he is going to be going down. Night Stalker roaming quite a bit. He died in the first nighttime, not able to set up too much. Pokes his head and gets scouted here. And at this point, I do believe Quantic will respawn accordingly, whether it's going to be pushing on the other lanes or getting a couple of teleport scroll coming in. Now, Pain to go on the mid lane should have a little bit of easier time, considering that he's not laning against the Night Stalker anymore. But at this point, Nexus, being the support, being rather effective. He's got a kill against the enemy support. He's setting up engagement. Here comes against Pain to go. There's a clap. Do we have to follow up? Nexus too busy with that creep wave. Unfortunately, ooh, two-man shackle, and this is going to be bad. Ultimate going to get used. Disruption defensively. That's going to give enough time. Oh, Wigot's going to be going down for sure. As I say that, he's doing quite a bit of dry kick damage. He does go down. Ultimate gets dropped on the Panda, focusing on Nexus, but he's got to back off. The second ultimate not on the Panda, not doing too much either. Now the chase going the other way. Solora gets silenced and slowed down, and here comes CRZ. There's a Shadow Strike on Pain to go. Ultimate being dropped off. Pain to go so healthy in terms of HP. There's a clap being used offensively. He's going to get right click down. I assume a couple more hits going to do it. Wall gets dropped down so early. Is that a level 6 wall? Wow, I can't believe it. We generally don't see wall this early. That's going to force a teleport scroll on Kurok, and I'm sure he doesn't want to do that. He'd rather farm on the bot lane. As I say that, Salina barely is going to survive on the last hit. One more hit's going to do it. Now Kurok on the mid lane, got to morph everything to save. Nice gale from the high ground to low ground. Kurok's going to be fine. He's looking for more opportunity to waveform in for a kill. He does waveform him against CRG, but he just dies. He melts to the screen of pain, and it looks like CRG will live. Nexus lives with like 8 HP. Wow, these kills are going back and forth, and I gotta say, zNation on top of that one.
Yeah, and Korok's aggressiveness with his morph really kind of backfired there on him, as he ended up dying where he probably should not have. Was maybe a bit overzealous there. I actually want to mention, NS has picked up phase boots, which is a decent choice, and it gives you a lot more chase potential during the daytime, which is something that Night Stalker usually isn't very adept at, if you will, by way of course, being a Night Stalker. So well picking up the phase boots gives him a bit more prowess during the daylight hours, I suppose.
I mean, having extra movement speed is always nice against slowers like Venomancer, as well as projectile-based stuns like Shackle Shot and the Boulder Bash. You can see it coming, and you can run so far away. By the time it hits that, you're going to be at least a little bit out of harm's way. Of course, it does give you the last-hitting ability, which is nice.
And now we're in the daytime has gone ahead and rotated around here. So
one from 1 to Michael Jackson. How's Pink's night?
Well, let's see. He is currently 1-1-1, so I'd say about a 4. Oh, he cracks another Knight here, thinking he was going to get... Wow. A Venomous Gale just baited out a Knight from Night Stalker. That's not exactly what you want to see. Darkness being used for nothing, actually. Just not accomplishing a whole bunch. Extends it a little bit, but it's going to be a long time now. A full 180-second cooldown. It's not going to last that long. It only lasts for, 25 seconds at level 1, so pretty ineffective use of Darkness there. Yeah,
he was a little bit worried about his life. And, better be safe than sorry, but that also means that the Quantic squad will be able to farm very aggressive. Kurok, by the way, 76 creep kills in 13 minutes.
Ghost Scepter.
He's going for shotguns.
Yeah, well, he's going to go for shotgun, but he picked up the Ghost Scepter first, which is very interesting. If you actually look at it, there's a fair amount of chase physical damage on the dire side, so it's not exactly terrible. There is some magical damage, obviously. You don't want to just pop that and have Queen of Pain just blow you away, but he's going to pressure that bottom tier 2, which is going to force some defense, as well as the middle tier 2, or middle tier 1 is taking some damage. They are going to potentially lose that top tier 1. We see a glyph being dropped, a TP in here from Enigma.
Wow.
Last Year Magic going to go for a stun here. It is going to catch Nexus, and is this going to force them away? Winter is there as well. I think they're just going to continue trying to A-click this. Maybe a Shackle Shot coming in here. It is going to get denied by Winter, but she eats a disruption for her impetuousness there. She's going to take a bunch of damage. Nice swap there from Vengeful Spirit. We see a Black Hole catches the Venge, though. Darkseer Wall again being dropped. Last Day Magic is going to go down. Korok TP's up there as well. He's going to waveform in, catches the Vengeful Spirit, wants to go for Sadoy next. Sadoy is going to go down, as we saw the Panda ultimate being used as well. And a double kill from Korok.
Really
effective TP.
Really like Korok's play. Not afraid to drop those TPs in, not afraid to come in, and he's getting himself 2 more kills. We do see the pushing power of Morphling being online, despite having kind of flimsy item just for that kind of like he doesn't have a Manta or anything or Lincolns. He's just pushing with the Ghost Scepter, and he's applying so much pressure. I really like the play, the rotation for Quantic. Wimruna pulled it out to defend the top lane before the mid tower even went down. He knew that his teammate will get the tower. Got the tower denied, sure, pay for it with her life, but I think that's completely well worded. The gold chart now in the favor, 3,000 to be exact, in Quantic. And keep in mind, Quantic's got the late game presence as well. Morphling just a little bit over halfway for his shotgun build, and once he finishes, we have 800 HP on Shadow Demon, perhaps 700 on Vengeful Spirit. They're going to be in huge trouble.
Yeah, and actually Morphling is up to 134 damage already, so despite, you know, going for that quick Ghost Scepter, he's already got a bunch of damage. I mean, you just morph a little bit of that agility. He obviously has those treads on agility. You can morph those to strength at any point. Just increases your speed of morphing, basically. It's just really effective. It's going to do a bunch of damage to Sadoi. Sadoi decides to try and fight him here. We actually saw a Venomous Gale from Mikey. Just barely missed there. It's nice positioning for Mikey trying to drop that on there. If that had caught there, I think that would have been a dead Darkseer, actually.
Well, I mean, the Surge is going to bring him out, but Morphling, of course, will have the ability to chase if he wants to do so. But that's beyond it, as we see zNation pushing the mid lane here. Engagement happening in jungle. Last time Magic gets caught out again. He gets Purge. He's going to go down here. Nightfall gets summoned by the Night Stalker, as perhaps going to silence and go on the Panda. Panda's going to ultimate? No. There's a defensive disruption. They're going to focus on Pain and Go. Pain and Go, not the best move, and he's going to go down for it. Nicely played here by zNation so far, as we see CRZ gets shackled up, but I think it's going to be fine. And they're going to look for the Windrunner down to half HP. She goes looking for a shackle shot. Teleport out. I think we're going to see a disruption. Yes, that's going to cancel the TP, but here comes Morphling. One kill goes immediately her way. Shackle shot does hit before she does go down. CRG in a little bit of trouble. Blinks offensively for Mikey. Mikey is going to go down. Couple more rights. Yes, that's going to do it. As we see a huge Sonic Wave. Seeing that Korok was using that Magic Stick, or not Magic Stick, the Ghost Scepter, and that amplification made CRZ to get that kill. Now CRZ up to 2,600 gold. We're going to see a very quick Aghanim Scepter, and that slowed down Korok's farm by so much.
Yeah, and actually Korok made a bit of a mistake there. He TP'd back to base thinking he had a replicate on the map, and actually he had sent the replicate back to base before that as well. So he TP'd back and then immediately replicated to his replicate, which was literally in the tower, or in the fountain. So a bit of a mismanagement of his replicate there cost him, as it took him a little bit longer to get to that battle. He was forced to walk all the way down the lane, and by the time he got there, half of his team had already been kind of annihilated, and he still went aggressive and ultimately paid for it with his life. So a bit of a mismanagement there.
So even Korok makes mistakes.
Yes, believe it or not, his Morphling is not perfect.
Well, he's playing decently so far. Some over-aggression has cost him a couple kills. He's 7-2-1 though. That's still a decent score. Although we've seen in the past, once Morphling gets up to the 4 or 5 deaths, like, yes, he's actually having trouble. But as we see a kill on the bot lane, Soler is going to be going down. The ganks from zNation and both teams actually very strong. Not going to make it out there. Night Stalker peeks his head in. But can you explain real fast why Morphling, even just with 2 or 3 death, like, suddenly becomes an issue for his team?
Well, he's a stat-based hero, and as we know, stats are very expensive. They're not a cheap thing to purchase. So Sadoi actually gets initiated here on Korok, and see a wave form and another kill. Man, I gotta say, his aggression with Morph is just off the charts, and it's really what makes him such a good Morphling player. Oftentimes you see Morphling, because of how expensive stats are, they farm a long time, and they hang out in lane for a really, you know, just trying to get every single last that they can. Korok is like, no. I'm gonna fight through the middle, the beginning, the middle, and the late game. I'm going to be in every single battle. And because of that, he gets a lot of kills, and it allows him to get a lot of gold much quicker than most Morphlings. He's rocking 8 kills right now at the 18 mini mark on a hero that oftentimes you just see, you know, turtling it up in lane, just trying to get all those stats. And again, as I was going to say, stats are very expensive to purchase. You have to invest a lot of time to get those going. And if you have a couple deaths on Morphling, it's going to inhibit his farm time enough to where he's not going to have the stats you're used to seeing. And it's going to cause him to be much weaker.
That's a 90-minute EB, and he sees Queen of Pain. I don't think he could get Queen of Pain, though, because Queen of Pain could blink out quickly. It's not like you're saying that he's taking a lot of team fights. It's not like he's, you know, not farming. He's got...
Yeah, no, he's doing it.
He's has almost 6 CS per minute. That's respectable. You assume someone like that is staying in the lane all the time, but he's not. He's waiting for Queen of Pain perhaps to use a blink. Hiding in sight. He was morphing a little bit away from... oh, he does see it. Perhaps waiting for the blink? No.
No, I think he wants to actually just get that replicate and start running it back. Perhaps? I don't know. Maybe he's going to go for a little shotgun here and then replicate out.
He's gonna
being
pour
very
back
patient.
for mana. Yeah, he's short in terms of mana because the shotgun as well as the replica out does take quite a bit of mana. He's basically sending his illusion around. If he sees something easy to pick off, he's gonna replicate immediately and go for a free kill basically.
Yeah, he's looking for somebody here. Unfortunately, he's going to actually be in position to get the Night Stalker. Oh, he's just going to run his hero straight down middle in case he finds somebody. It looks like maybe he might identify that there's a Vengeful. Vengeful just barely managed to get away there. Korok does go ahead and pop it. Going to just take down that illusion pretty quickly and continue his farm. Now, he's at 280 gold. I assume he's going to go ahead and... Well, actually, I don't know what Korok goes for next. I mean, typically you see a Lincoln Sphere next. But
wouldn't be bad.
I gotta say, his Morphling is not something that you normally see. It's not your daddy's Morphling, I guess.
Well, I mean, it blocks a disruption. It blocks a fear. Now, to be fair, Manta does the same sort of. It
Yes.
really kind of get away to fear, which is his biggest worry at this point. So I think Manta would be actually the better item here. It gives you a lot of agility to work with, and that's going to power up Shotgun and give you more pushing power, which is the way that Korok plays his Morphling. So I think Manta style logically is the best item of choice, but we'll see.
And it's a guaranteed dodge of fear, whereas Lincoln's is kind of a potential dodge of fear. Meanwhile, CRZ wants to be careful there. We're going to see actually a pause yet again here, as Mikey asked for a pause here.
So chart, Radiant leading by 2k, so that's not really a big thing, but who do you think is actually in dominant control of the game? Is any team in dominant control of the game?
I feel like Quantic's in a better state, just because they have a Morphling who's getting pretty fat. I mean, he's at 8 kills, he's level 14. Compared to the Dire side, we got a level 9 Vinge, level 10 Shadow Demon, level 11 Darkseer, level 12 NS. Now, Queen of Pain is level 14, and she is 6-0, and she's doing very well. In fact, I believe she has an Axe Scepter. No, she actually got a BKB. Interesting. So we actually have a BKB completed as, I guess that's that is kind of an anti-shotgun, you know?
It's anti-everything that the Radiant has. Like, they don't actually have physical damage.
I mean, eventually Morphling will get there. I mean, no, to be fair, Morphling has physical damage. He's currently hitting for 176.
Fair. But
he's only got 1,000 HP to do so. So we're going to go ahead and have a resume here. Korok's going to continue farming, and very wisely, she's going to go ahead and back up.
And you're never really going to die to the Morphling now that you do have the BKB. If he shotguns it, you could pop the BKB immediately, and that debuffs yourself. It blocks a waveform that's incoming, so she's going to be absolutely fine. Of course, that also make her kind of invulnerable against the Panda in war. Like, she doesn't care whether the Panda is in ultimate form or not. It's going to give her a lot of room to chase all she wants. So she doesn't have to worry about herself in this case. But her team is actually, not having that much item progression. They do see Korok. Korok might be in a little bit of trouble. They got to open up the gank with the fear, and they do so. He does have the shotgun now, so if he does survive it, he's going to pop it right now. He eats a magic missile, and the soul catcher's on top. He's morphing the strength. He is going to be fine. Here comes a blink dagger against Nexus, and there's going to be the Panda Potobalas, and I do believe Nexus is going to be dead. So Doi not coming with a surge. He's just surging himself out. I was like, good luck, bro.
Yeah, that was a really questionable decision. And we see a nice use of the Ethereal Blade as a defensive item there, preventing the NS from really hitting him. It is Vengeful Spirit who's going to fall next on that bottom lane here. So 2 kills there for Quantic on what was essentially a counter gang against the Morphling.
Yeah, and I really am happy for Quantic for picking up those 2 kills because Korok's getting so many kills as he gets a deny on the melee as well. His team is actually a little bit in trouble as we see the shotgun going on stall leader. I'm not too sure whether that was the intended target, but in any case.
Yeah, he actually cast the Adaptive Strike on Morphling and actually, or on
Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain, and actually fired the Ethereal Blade in S. I think that was a mistake. I think he meant to hit Morphling or Queen of Pain with both.
But in either case, I don't think they were going to get the kill.
Yeah, I mean,
just
maybe he was just trying to harass both of them back.
Yeah, there you go.
It was intentional.
So yeah, I was talking about how important it was for Quantic support to pick up those kills. Because Korok's getting up all the kills, as a support player, you gotta go for farm or for wards somewhere. And Mikey and Enigma getting kills like that and experience, very helpful. And Mikey almost hitting 11, that's the point where Venomancer actually becomes more useful as a hero, as opposed to useless. And he's actually doing a little bit of ancient jungling as well. I mean, a lot of people forget that, yeah, that's what one of the many things that Venomancer could do, jungle those wards. And you get a lot of go any XP from that.
Yeah, Painted Gold's actually got himself a Blink Dagger as well as phases, and a Django almost going to be done here as we see a shotgun immediately taking down Demon, or the Shadow Demon as Nexus, and he actually immediately uses the Replicate to get away. So nice use of the ability to just run in there, assassinate somebody, and be completely safe no matter how far you dive. It's really just such a powerful effect on that Morphling. That said, As I was mentioning, Jango almost completed on Panda, so he's actually getting a decent amount of farm despite his very rough early game.
And we do see Korok going into an ultimate orb, so that doesn't actually tell us whether it's going to be a Linken's or Manta just yet.
Oh, it's got to be Manta, right? Come on.
Oh, I think it's going to be Manta, but we'll see. Again, I think he opened up with the ultimate orb for more stats, more shotgun ability, and he's continuing to basically look for solo heroes walking around. He saw Shadow Demon there. zNation cannot make these mistakes. They cannot have a solo Venge walking around or a solo Shadow Demon, because Morphling will find you and he will pick you off whether you like it or not. But Korok, perhaps they're going to be using it.
Yeah, he's got no replicate on the map right now. He's going to get feared, he's going to get nuked, and he's going to go down very quickly there as the replicate was on cooldown. He still had about 7 seconds. Meanwhile, in the middle, we have an initiation on Sedoy. He's taking a bunch of damage from the Panda ultimate. The disruption pulls him out, though. Probably going to save him. It looks like, yep, they're going to go ahead and cyclone the NS and run away. Or rather, the Panda's going to. And, yeah, so he's going to be fine. We see a surge on Vengeful trying to catch somebody. It's not going to work there. Last time Magic came around here, he does have a black hole. You're going to see a stun, but a vacuum pulls him out. Their wall gets placed a little bit improperly there, not quite actually catching anybody. He used it a bit awkward there. We see a blocker gets channeled for about a split second, gets speared off. He's go down. Queen of Pain picking up that kill. Swap on Mikey's going to be the next one to fall here. So 2 kills, 3 kills actually. They did get that Morphling up top for zNation now, and we're back to 17-17.
17-17 with the late game advantage on Quantic's side. No form of late game for zNation. Their Night Stalker is not that far. I mean, he has his Axe Scepter, but that doesn't mean too much. But they're going to use advantage that they gain from the Roshan and go for this Roshan. Gain for the team fight to go for Roshan. Now zNation, they are very good at what we saw just happen, chasing and kind of chasing kind of team fight. That they're really, really good for. Morphling was in that team fight, of course, due to the good gank that they did early on. They got to keep doing this and get some tower. Right now, I feel like Quantic, despite after losing that team fight, still fairly comfortable with their game state. It's even. They have the towers up. They have the late game Morphling, and so far there's no answer for this late game Morphling.
Yeah, and Korok has shown up here a little bit here. He does have the Ultimate Orb, as mentioned. Now he's got 3 deaths, but he has 9 in 3. So despite having 3 deaths, he is still level 16 with those 9 kills. He's got plenty of gold. He's picked up a double damager in here, so if they want, they could find somebody to be an easy kill. But it looks like he's just gonna go ahead and use that to speed farm the jungle here. Would be my guess. Yep, he's gonna do just that.
Yeah, we've been paying.
Oh, he bottled it. I'm sorry, he actually bottled it.
Yeah. We've been paying a lot of attention on Korok and what he's been doing. Let's check out how his teammates been doing. Mega's finished here on Solera. Gold-wise, gonna go for a 4-staff recipe being purchased. Just making sure he doesn't get ganked. Last in Magic going for the Black King bar. Almost there. We have Painted Go has a Blink Dagger up. Gonna go back to Drums for a little bit more mana and attack speed and chasing power. And of course Mikey on support duty, buying all the wards. Mia on the Dire. BKB finish on CRZ, nothing beyond that. Pipe finish on Sedoy. Age is going to get picked up by Queen of Pain as well. They're really stacking on her. There's a vacuum into a huge Sonic Wave. BKB not being popped just yet. Now it's going to get popped here. And Queen of Pain got to blink out right. She does have the mana and do so. Silence on Kurok. And actually, Kurok's just going to right-click the hell out of everybody. As everyone needs to run, he's going to go in, wait for him for a kill. His damage output is just simply insane at this point here. And the rest of the squad runs away. I'm not too sure whether CRZ won that fight.
Well, I mean, Korok had that double damage rune in the bottle that he went ahead and cracked and just allowed him to just hit everybody for 370 damage in attack. That's legit damage at this point. I mean, that's like a fat late-game Morphling at the 27-minute mark. His double damage is pretty important here. Gonna come around the backside here. They might actually find... Yeah, he's gonna find the NS, or he's gonna start hitting him. He goes for the silence, but it doesn't matter. He's just gonna A-click him. He does... Oh, he goes for the shotgun to slow him down, and I believe we're gonna see a waveform next to finish him off. Waveform adapter strike. There's a waveform. The strike does pick him off. Korok getting that kill. Well played there. And Panda meanwhile is gonna clap the tower. He's gonna go ahead and TP back as Korok is waveforming it up, or rather morphling it up. And he's going to just rotate back in the middle.
Yeah, he does have a replicate out in the field as well, so he could actually... If he sees that Venge... No. Is he going to go for it? No, he is not going to go for it. And so far, I think with all these slow team fights, or both teams advancing to the late game in an evenly pace, and that favors Quantic, at least in broad theory. The Morphling so far, again, is unstoppable. Very unlucky for zNation that they took a fight where Morphling had a DD. In most fights like that, you know, generally what you see is the Morphling gets nuked down and they basically wave away. But Korok just stood his rounds like, okay, let's right click. You right click me, I right click you. I even knew that he had a DD because how blue he was, or how he normally is.
Yeah.
And then the DD makes you blue. So.
Not a very obvious animation on Morphling, to be honest. I think they might want to increase the size of the DD, effect on him. And actually, if you look at the kills, it's 21-19 right now, but both teams have almost all of their kills concentrated on one hero. 12 of those 21 are on the Morphling, and 9 of the 19 are on that Queen of Pain. If you actually look at Dark Series, 1-6. 1-6 on the Vengeful Spirit. Of course, Vengefule's not, kind of used to that. Shadow Demon is 3-6. Meanwhile, on the other side, Winter 1-4, 2-6 on that Enigma, 2-3 on Mikey, and 3-3 on Panicle, as well as the 5-3 Night Stalker. So, most of those kills are concentrated on just 2 heroes.
Uh-oh, they see Last Hit Magic. They're not going to go for him. They see him. Go for him. There's a silence. Yep, and here comes true teleportation. Do they want to still fight this? It seems like they do. Last Hit Magic's going to go down. Ultimate's going to get dropped on Sidoi in a little bit of trouble. Poison Nova gets dropped on Mikey. Mikey down to half HP. Blinking from CRZ. Is he going to go for the ultimate? No, he's not using the ultimate. There's a Hex on Kurok, but now CRZ in a little bit of trouble. Going to have to blink out again. Kurok now gets silenced. Looking for the waveform. He's looking for his ultimate, or for his shotgun as well. He sees Nexus. Going to start to right-click on the Nexus. Queen of Pain blinks in and out, gets yet another kill. Now focus on Mikey. Mikey is going to go down as well. CRG has done his job. He has his Aegis as well. Kurok gets silenced for the second time. The team fight. Magic Missile does hit. Kurok goes down. Huge team fight for CRZ. Panda blinks out, but basically that was a team wipe. I mean, Panda survived at the cost of a CRG Aegis, but that was really what they looked for. They stopped Morphling's big gain. And I think he gave away a big streak as well, so CRZ very happy. Good use of his Aegis. And now Hex is already up, so I mean, perhaps this actually needs to be a Lincoln Sphere. Because Manta doesn't dodge that.
Yeah, Manta does not dodge Hex, that's for sure. You can't just suddenly split out of Hex. I guess maybe making 3 chickens would be kind of sick. Now zNation, like they're probably feeling kind of okay right now, but I would caution against this. Because while it does look like that battle went very well for them, there's still a level 20 Morphling. We're at minute 30 and he's level 20. That is insane. That's actually ridiculous. Like I'm shocked right now at how many levels Kurok has managed to amass. I mean, basically, he's the whole team right now, right? I mean, obviously they're supporting him and causing this to happen, but every single battle he's getting the kills. He waveform past the Shadow Demon, or waveform past the who did he kill? I don't remember. A Dark Seer, I believe, and then shotgun down the Shadow Demon, and then got the last on the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, Queen of Pain had Aegis though, so it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. But still, 2 kills. Although they did get 4 heroes there. I mean, obviously it went well from the zNation point of view, but it's not all hunky dory right now. They gotta get just probably 2 more kills on Kurok. If they can get 2 more kills on him, I think they're in pretty good shape. He's gonna max out as far as actual levels go. He's only actually got 5 more levels to take. I mean, he's pretty close to max level, insanely. Obviously, he's got a lot of farm potential, but
there's that pub moment where you're getting thrashed on by the enemy team by like a level 24 Sven, and you're like level 8 Crystal Maiden, and you're like, well, the silver lining is that Sven is almost maxed out on levels.
Yeah, he can't get any more stat gain, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and when you talk about a hero like Morphling, I mean, stat gain's the deal. So there is at least that. Now he does have 2,800 gold, so if he's going to finish a Manta, he can do that. If he wants to make that Lincoln Sphere, he's pretty close to doing that. It's looking like he's going to go for that Manta style. Or, I mean, I'm sorry for the. I think he wanted to get the Manta style. It looks like more like he's going to get that Lincoln Sphere, right?
We'll see. I mean, I think you get both. It's not my shotgun on CRZ. Oh, he's gonna be fine. He's just gonna go for Kurok. Is gonna his ultimate? No, he's gonna. You hit me, I hit you back. Although Queen of Pain has to go back to base now.
Yeah, he has gone ahead and purchased something here. It looks like it is going to be the Manta style. So yeah, he's going to still go ahead and finish that Manta style despite the Hex there. Of course, we saw despite the Hex, that actually doesn't do a whole lot without teammates around him. So presuming that he can get Hexed without any of the zNation team near him, he'll be fine. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case, but it's one thing you can do.
I mean, I still like the Morphling Manta style a little bit better. It gives him the pushing power. But he's also a lot more gankable. Now, we have seen in the past where Fear is the opening weapon of that gank, and having the Manta now will kind of bypass that. But now he has another worry, which is the Hex. I feel like every time a Kurok gets an item, there's an item already countering him, forcing Kurok to get another item. And he's by far the most farm hero on the map. I guess Queen of Pain is keeping up, because this Queen of Pain 11, 0, and 9. I have not seen this fed Queen of Pain in a pro game for a long time.
Yeah, she's actually got more creep kills than Kurok. She is also having no deaths, so she is a prime target. If she gets killed at any point, that is going to be a massive amount of gold for whoever takes her down. Now, that said, She does have another 3K after that Hex, and she's already got that BKB, which still is just now on the 8-second charge.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no! What do we do?
I think we have to cast this. I don't think people are happy watching this game, and then we're switching Staliner. Gonna get initiated on the mid lane. They're gonna be in huge trouble. A Nighttime was activated, but he is gonna go down. And now Morphling joining the push on the mid lane here as we see Vengeful Spirit gets picked off. The shotgun coming in. He is gonna go down. Morphling adding another kill to his addition. And here comes the Storm Panda looking for another Cyclone. He does find the... Uh-oh. That's a 6-second Cyclone to keep everyone away. They are gonna crowd all around him. Trying to self-disrupt, he does get it off, but that is simply waiting for Kurok to cool down his spells. Yet another kill for Kurok. And he middle tower has gone down. I think they're gonna go Rax now.
Yeah, and actually Queen of Pain through that got stuck. She actually blinked down bottom in the trees and was forced to sit there and wait for another blink, and that allowed them to take down the heroes and the middle tier 2, and now he's gonna go ahead and crack that Manta style, and that tier 3 is gonna go down really fast. We see a Darkseer wall being dropped, but no vacuum just yet. He actually gets initiated and clapped. Waveform, shotgun down. He goes very fast. Squawk just about crossed the wall there, but very wisely turned around. Down go the melee Rex. So look, this game is just instantly going to be just about over.
We will never know which team has a stronger 5v5 fight, because that wasn't it. It was Night Stalker getting picked off, Venge getting picked off, Shadow Demon getting picked off, and then Darkseer getting picked off. Kind of very reminiscent of one of those public games where teammates run in 1-by-1, but it does not say that zNation play poorly. The initiation power and the chasing power of Quantic is just simply too much. And the Blink Dagger from Panda started it all. And we talked about it in the past where if you try to run from the Panda, you're doing it wrong. That means you're in a back foot. And unfortunately, the Blink Clap Cyclone, the Fire Panda, the Boulder Bash really caught everyone out of position. And Korok, now up at Rax, could be easily finishing the Rax now. Having a Manta Style in this case a lot better because it gives you more pushing power, and we saw how much damage it did in that last pushing attempt.
Wow, this is how much attention he's paying to his stats. He just morphed to Intel Treads, waveformed, and then while in waveform actually morphed back.
That's how people are supposed to play.
I know,
I've been saying it for years, but
you just don't actually see it very often. So very nice use of the treads. A lot of people get very lazy with their treads. That said, Last Hat Magic has now completed his Blink Dagger, and he already had the BKB. So I expect to see some potentially big black holes this time. Now we see Korok just clicking Night Stalker doing so much damage. He is going to go in there and immediately waves for him. Oh, okay. So he used his replicate to get away. I see.
Yeah,
all right. I was like, where did he go?
Where did he go? But look at the Morphling illusion, just picks up a Venge by himself, and now CRZ drops an ultimate against the... Oh no, look at CRZ, he's taking so much damage. Waveform up on the high ground, Sedoya's HP just going down so rapidly. Kuro adds another to his list of kills, and then another. My god.
Woo! 19-4-2, level 22. Morphling, he's got himself another 4.5k. Probably going to be a butterfly at this point. I mean, there's no... He actually doesn't need to make a Lincoln Spear if you just A-click and kill everybody. It's not really too big of a worry. CRZ very valiantly goes top to try and kill this tower, to which Quantic respond, okay, well, we'll kill Roshan then.
You know, during that team fight, what reminded me of a Shakespeare novel or a play or whatever? I'm not even sure it was a Shakespeare, where he wrote about the world's biggest gigolo. You know what I'm talking about?
Gigolo?
Gigolo? Where apparently every time he had a sex with a woman, he wrote it down on a list, and that list is like 3,000 names long. I feel like whenever Kuro gets a kill on Morphling, he writes it down on the list, and so similar length.
You're saying that Korok is giving sex to zNation?
No, I'm saying every time he might be. I don't know. Like perhaps my stream right now is being reported for pornographic stuff, because Korok is really making this game, very exciting, if you will.
Yeah, and actually he has finished an Eye of Scotty. We actually didn't see this, but that ultimate orb got turned into a Scotty here, so he's rocking some serious stat prowess. He's got 1 point of strength right now. He's going to immediately shotgun CRZ, who does manage to survive, shockingly. About the only hero who can survive that. So meanwhile, just getting A-clicked. Whew! You ain't going anywhere, boy. Gonna wait for him after them. Down he goes. Gonna A-click next. He looks like next is gonna be the next target. He does get stunned here. Run the Boulder Bash. Krok is going to lose that A. But no problem. He's gonna resurrect with about 1 million damage ready to go. He's gonna start A-clicking the Night Stalker. Probably gonna be the next target.
Yeah, he is going to be eating some stuns and slow, but the Manta pops him right out, and immediate Night Stalker is not going to give a choice. He wants a Queen of Pain. He does pick off Queen of Pain, and right now this game is all but over.
705 gold killing the Queen of Pain.
Yep.
As she finally dies, and the worst time to die is when you have 13 kills.
And when you're getting racks, I think that's the other part, as he gets shotgun a second time. Korok's been paying extra attention on the... Oh no, Nexus is going to go down as well. That list is going long.
Yeah, he's turning into the
Gigolo of America.
Yeah, big time here. He's got himself an ultra kill. Now rocking 24 and 4, well beyond godlike. Gonna take that bottom racks, and I believe Quantic kind of almost easily gonna take this first game, despite Queen of Pain's very good play. I mean, she was at one point 13 and 0, as we said. She played very well. It wasn't quite enough to counteract this Morphling, and I fully expect in game 2 to see a Morphling ban from the
Morphling respect ban.
You gotta respect Bandit, right? I mean, clearly you can't give this away.
Well, if they do give it away, they gotta have something else in return. And I mean, even though zNation was getting those smoke gangs off, winning these team fights, you gotta keep in mind they never converted it into anything. They never pushed down the second tier tower. And as a Morphling team, you're very happy when all your tier 2 towers are still up. Like, you're never really under any kind of pressure. When you're down on racks as a Morphling player, it's like, okay, we gotta actually start play. But at this point, I mean, it kind of was a fairly easy victory for Quantic, the way I see it.
Yeah, that was definitely...
Ooh, it's a full screen now.
What? Oh, at the end?
Yeah, it doesn't have this like weird black box.
Oh yeah, I remember the bug, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so I guess that's gonna do it for game 1 here. Is Quantic take that one down, and we'll head into game 2 rather shortly.